Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch club that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Vanya Suresh. I'm your host for this program. From my extreme left, we have Sarah Torres, who has been back with us for the last couple of episodes after, I think, a self-appointed break of maybe, 6 months, a year? How long have you been away?
You exaggerated, just like I'm not at your extreme.
It just feels,
left.
it feels that you've been away for so long.
I know.
There's so much energy you come and share with us here. When you're not here, I think people do feel that vacuum. So welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome
Glad
back.
to be back. Welcome back. It's a song. They sing it.
You do realize
On the world.
Oh, okay. So we are on air. So all this energy, it's all your fault, Pilin.
Kale.
All the kale juice that Pilin has been feeding us for the last couple
Kale,
of days.
yeah.
Sarah's still reacting from that. Sarah, welcome back. To my
mean,
extreme
kale
right, Ron Thomas. Ron, welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's
How's the
great to be
kale
here.
working on you? How do you feel? Full of energy like this girl?
Yeah, I'm floating.
You're floating.
Yeah.
He's floating on air. Welcome back,
I
Ron.
want more kids.
Ron has a show every Thursday live, Channel 36.
Channel 56.
I'm sorry,
Big
Channel
time.
56.
Mercury
Don't go
retrograde,
looking for him on
yes.
36. Channel 56, 2 to 3 p.m.
No, 1 to 2 p.m.
What am I doing to you, Ron?
Mercury
I'm so sorry.
retrograde.
I'm trying. Mercury in retrograde. I'm leading everyone away from Ron. No, Ron, you go ahead. Say it one more time.
Channel 56, Big Talk, 1 hour. It's live calling. I'm working on some stories, maybe like UFOs, energy and UFOs. Because like when people actually understand what UFOs do, they're going to ask,
Where did they get their
where
energy?
did they get their
source
energy?
from?
That's gonna flip out the whole economy.
We need to drill in Alaska to find out where they get their energy from.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. How do they travel from galaxy to galaxy?
You know, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, where do they get all that energy?
They
That
get
should
free
be-
energy from.
From space.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no drilling
actual
there. That's
nature,
probably
yeah.
getting it from somewhere. Welcome
The
back,
air,
Ron.
right?
That's very exciting themes that you've got. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to come on your show. Maybe I'll be able to discuss some of those points.
Actually, yoga has that. That's part of the yoga.
As part of the yogic experience,
The
Free energy.
all the
from
levitation
the air.
and
Energy
space.
from the universe. It comes to you through yoga.
And kale.
Everything.
Adjo Mantavia, our director for today. Adjo, thank you so much for holding the fort. Richard Swanson, a facilitator, thanks to you for setting up the studio lights and the setups. And under Richard's guidance, Adjo is going to take us through the rest of today's program. So thank you so much. We really appreciate all the help. For the big moment now, Pilin Anice. Did I just change your name? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pilin Anice. All this talk about UFOs, it's all your fault now, right? Pilin, you took us through an amazing journey. The last couple of episodes, you talked about kale, and as I can see, our fascination still lies with kale, pear, and bananas. But
Just
you
want to
made
make
that
sure we
great
get the
smoothie.
point through. Want to make
That's
sure
right.
it's nutritious.
No, that's good because you're right. Because once we get used to a certain kind of food that we normally wouldn't think is delicious enough, and you've made us see that it can be very tasty, very healthful. I think it's a good idea to just to be able to get that message across, to talk about it a couple of times. Now, is there anything new you'd like to add to that? Anything else?
Well,
you
one
want
thing I just want to encourage viewers to go out and try to experiment with kale, just because like we talked about this before, that
Right.
greens, leafy greens, are one of the foods that's missing the most from the American diet, and not just kale, but there's so many other options. You have collards, you have
Right.
bok choy, rhubarb,
Bok choy is a little chewy.
watercress. Yeah, they're all different. They all have their different facets to them,
Right.
and some people may prefer them over the other.
Right.
So so it's important to experiment with those, the dark leafy greens, because that's where you're going to get the nutrients that your body needs.
So the greener it is,
The greener, the better.
the better. Okay, that means
Absolutely.
more fiber, more iron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
More
sounds good.
chlorophyll, enzymes for the body, just to rejuvenate the cells.
Right,
That we're
right.
constantly being damaged by the sun, by the processed foods that we're eating,
Right.
putting into our body. So this is a good way to just combat that, just to give your body some tools that it needs to keep yourself feeling youthful and able to do yoga.
There, I knew that there was a connection.
You knew there was a connection.
Yeah,
it was
you-
coming. Drove
you-
it home. There it is.
The last couple of episodes, you did a great job. You brought out all the good points. Could we have just a quick recap? Now, you said bananas have phosphorus,
Potassium.
potassium. sorry.
Potassium, and the kale also has a lot of calcium.
Okay.
And the great thing about combining these two in a smoothie is that the calcium is better absorbed by the potassium in the banana. So
what I
potassium
said. So it's
actually,
the
they aid each
combination.
other. They're very good. They're complementary in that they, it aids it in digestion.
It's just like we talk when you have the vitamins in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about when you take calcium. They say you should always have vitamin D before you take calcium.
right.
because
Those
D
are
helps
also
absorb.
exactly same
So
thing
this
with
is just
potassium.
natural stuff.
Right. And then sometimes some things inhibit certain things from
Right. Okay. So
from
this is a great
absorbing.
combination. What about the pear?
The
Is it
pear
a-
is there for the vitamin C and for fiber.
Okay.
And because again, like I said before, we blend this whole thing up in a blender. So a lot of people, it depends on what type of blender you have. If
Right.
you have a pretty strong blender at home, do you guys have strong blenders? Would you say you have blenders? Do you use blenders?
And
I have a
moderate,
blender that's
moderately
fairly strong, but I don't
A
think I've
Vitamix
tried
is much
pureeing.
is like top of the line.
It's top of the line. I guess you would just have to cut the pear up a little bit smaller.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Montel
Just cut it
Williams
up
has a great
before
blender, though.
He does?
Yeah, I
Cool.
seen that. I know it's like a super, and you can make stuff hot in it.
Yeah,
Wow.
same thing with the
It's
vitamins.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
great.
one.
It's like a
yeah.
Me Too Vitamix.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Yeah. So you would just have to cut it up, probably
It's better
finer.
to eat the whole fruit.
Just a quick,
puree
quick
form,
question.
And you give it to babies, and
Yeah,
thrive.
blend
Yeah,
it
you can
up,
make
they
baby
thrive.
food.
You give the
Baby
blended to
food.
babies or the blended food to
The blended
babies?
food. The blended food, right?
yeah,
No, I see what you mean. So it's good enough for the babies. It's soft enough
It's
for
fine.
the babies.
superior for the
Yeah.
baby.
So it's more pureed. It's not really juiced like you said in the last
Yes,
episode.
puree with
Pureed.
with fresh purified water.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. But
One
more
last
water
quick
so it's
question.
not like, pulpy.
Right,
It's
right.
more,
Oh, okay.
drinkable.
So a little more
Right.
drinkable than edible.
Right,
Got
yeah.
it. One last question. You talked about kale, you talked about pears, and you talked about bananas. Now, in kale, you know how I noticed that the stem is fairly thick.
Right, so let
Is
me just
that
show
to
you
be
that.
included?
No,
Yeah.
I don't include that in the smoothie. What I do is I'll take it and you just I'm just going to use this one as a demonstration.
Okay.
You just kind of pull it off, pull the leaf off of it, and this will be what you blend.
Okay.
So you just throw this part away.
Is
You want.
that the healthiest
And this
part?
is,
That's all yours, Sarah. She's the
This
rabbit
is
over here.
the leaf. Right, if you want to eat that, that's fine. But for the purpose of your blender, especially if you don't have a super strong
Right,
blender,
right,
I mean, I could potentially put
This
that
is
in
tender
mine.
enough.
But if not, this is just rip it off of there, and then you can just throw this in the blender.
That's a nice
Would
way.
you
I mean,
want to
not
put
with
the whole
much
stem in
wastage.
Not if your blender's not strong enough.
No, if it is like.
If it is, you
would
can.
rather,
You
like-
can, but this is the green part. This
It's
is
the one with the most nutrients
Exactly, it's the
anyway.
most nutrient part.
Okay,
This part's
sounds
more of
good.
water. It's fibrous. So this
Okay.
is more of the fiber.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want fiber in your diet, you want to be biting on.
Right, you can get that, but you also
But you
get
don't
fiber
need
from
fiber.
this.
I
Right,
can eat
it's just
fiber.
more concentrated here than
Right.
it is here, but you're still getting fiber from the leaves, and you're getting it from your pear, so you're still getting fiber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because fiber one is they be acting like it's sweet. I mean, it's sweet. It's like
This girl's got
candy.
too much
Fiber
energy
one?
before she burns
Yeah,
it
it's
off.
That's a cereal?
fun.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like
That's
Well,
not
fiber
real
one.
though.
it's
Yeah, you
not.
can get.
We're
This
not
is a
gonna
better
have
way to
any
get your
commercial
fiber.
Like
names
candy.
because we
Yeah.
could get in trouble. That's
Sweet.
okay.
501 candy.
Fiber,
okay. I know
and
what you
I
mean.
needed extra fiber, so I was suggested to do
You know,
that.
before Sarah burns off all that energy, thanks to Pilin, let's get into some of the stretching. Extend your legs out in front of you. Keep your feet flexed. And this is where you're going to need all the strength from all the kale that you've eaten, all the pears, the fiber from the pears, and the bananas. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to tighten our lower abdominal muscles. I know Sarah loves this. She's been doing a lot of ab workout. Now, inhale the arms up to shoulder height, palms facing in. Now, we're going to keep inhaling. And now, that's going to be just a subconscious movement. But what we're really going to do consciously is engage the lower abdominal muscle. So tighten that, inhale, lift your legs off of the floor. So you need to lean back a little bit. So we're all going to have our feet facing the camera, but you know where we are. We're attached to our feet. So exhale and release.
And
Very
I'm the one with the
gently.
energy.
You're That's right. Pilin, we've got to have you here more often. Every time you come, we're all totally supercharged with all these great foods you talk about, and you bring us samples.
With
Now
some more kale juice.
fold your legs in. Attach the soles of your feet to each other. Hold on to your feet with both hands, and then push your knees all the way down. If you hear any pops and crackles, that's Sarah and her Rice Krispies. Now, don't worry. If you feel, sometimes we have air pockets that we have not released yet. So if you hear any little slight pops and crackles, that's okay. Because they're just air pockets, and all you're doing every time you make a different movement, you're releasing those air pockets. So what do you call this? You're stomping them out. I don't know what's the right word, but anyway. You're trying to get rid of the
Fleshing
air
them out.
pockets. Squishing them out. Thank you, Ron. That's it. See, I need to take some lessons in English. Now, push your knees down. Keep your elbows out to resist your knees from coming up. Exhale, fold from the hip. Lead with the chest. It'll take you further. The aim is to try to touch your forehead to your toes. And if you don't quite get there today, that's okay. For me, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to work at it. You just do the best you can on any given day. And then
I smell my feet.
hey, inhale. You have to, okay, let's come up. I just realized what you said. Let's come up. Sarah, I heard Sarah say, and actually she said it loud enough, so we might as well tell everyone what it's all about. Sarah said she smells her feet as she goes down. Now, the idea, there is the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga is called Pratyahara, which is basically a nice way to desensitize yourself. So not only do you desensitize emotions, you can also desensitize your sense of smell when you go down. You just have to ignore the smell of your feet. And I'm sure your feet smell good.
No, they don't smell
But-
like cheese or anything. I'm just not used to smelling my feet.
That's okay. Yeah, and
Like,
there's a start to everything, Sarah. This is going to be part of your lesson that you're going to share with us.
I'm gonna go home and
No.
blog about I smelled my feet
Let's
today in yoga.
I
saw on
Let's
the
all
internet it said
come.
put alcohol on your feet. You won't smell it.
Oh, that'll make her go faster. Let's all come in a seated squat. Heels are closer than the toes, so bring your toes out to the side. Press your palms in and push your knees out to the side. Now, this does involve some balance, so you want to stay focused. Look at a point in front of you that doesn't move, even though it's a seated balance. You still have to hold yourself up. So stay focused, keep your mind nice and centered. I'm going to look at the orange cones. And keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Very gently, let's come down and extend our legs out in front of us. Let's turn to face the front left of the camera so we're not always showing you the soles of our feet. Keep your feet flexed, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of a side twist. Both palms to the left of your hip. If you're not very experienced with this twist, you may want to keep your hands a little further away from you. That helps you go a little deeper. Now, exhale and dip. Make sure you keep your right hip down, keep your feet where they are.
You can put my head on the floor.
Yes, the aim is to try and reach your forehead, touch your forehead to the ground. If that doesn't happen for some of us today, not everyone's going to be able to do that like Sarah, and possibly Pilin is also going pretty deep. Ron is not too bad. I think it's just me. I need to catch up, guys. Inhale, let's come up. And let's turn to the other side. You're doing well, Ron. You're very flexible in the waistline. Good. Both palms to the right of your hip. Exhale and dip. Now make sure your feet are flexed. Keep them where they are. Keep your hip down. Inhale. Let's come up.
Oh,
And then that's a nice twist. How do you feel
very
that?
nice.
Yeah, it feels wonderful. Let's all come down in prone position. We're going to continue today. We're going to try and take you through the remainder of the postures. Let's come down on our belly, turn over. It's all this energy we're working off thanks to Pilin. No, honestly, that was a good discussion about kale. I never realized that, good food could taste good. I always thought good food tastes bad.
Right.
Press with your palms, curl your toes in, chin to the floor, chin on the mat. Now, keep your elbows close to your body. We're going to inhale and peel our buttocks off of the floor. To do that, you need to engage your low back muscles. You need to keep them nice and tight. And then walk your toes closer to your knees, glide your knees closer to your chest, and that way it'll help you bring your buttocks off of the floor. Inhale and lift. and hold it right there. Keep your lower abdominal muscles nice and tight. It'll protect your back. Keep your buttock muscles nice and firm, your low back. Engage everything in your equator, and I like to call that the equator, the lower abs, the upper abs, your buttocks. Exhale, and then glide back down. We're going to press with the palms, press with the tops of your feet, inhale, and lift. Let's come up as high as we can. Once you're up here, tighten your buttock muscles, engage your low back, and then see if you can have your low back protect you and have you hold your body up. We're going to take our palms off of the floor to test the strength of our back. Palms back on the floor, curl your toes in. And actually, you know what? I almost went into the sun salutation. Don't curl your toes in right now. Make a fist with your palms. So tuck your thumb into your fist. Close your fingers over your thumb in both hands, and then tuck your fist into the groin area. Sarah already knows what was coming next, right? You're all set, Sarah. Chin to the floor. Don't go to sleep on us, Sarah. We're going to keep our chin down. Inhale and lift our legs off of the floor. Now use your fist to raise your legs up. Hold it up. Exhale and release. Now bring your hands out in front of you. Both arms in front, palms facing in. So open up your palms. Palms are facing in. And this time you're going to tighten your buttock muscles, engage your low back. Inhale, lift your hands and your legs. So basically your elbows and your knees need to come off of the floor. So use your back strength to take you up. Inhale and lift. Now it's okay if you don't go too high. The idea is to get your feet and your hands, your legs and your hands off of the floor. Exhale and release. Reach for the left ankle with the left hand. Are you ready to go to sleep on us, girl? Reach for the right ankle with the right hand. Now, if you have tender knees, as Ron does, you want to deal with one leg at a time. Chin is on the floor. Now, tighten your buttock muscles, engage your low back. Inhale and lift your knees, chin, and chest off of the floor. Now, we're going to hold this for just a few seconds more, just to give ourselves a little bit of an advantage from here. And then we're going to move a little bit sideways. Let's rock sideways. And then for those of you who think you can, those of you who can, feel free to rock forward and back. That's a little bit of a challenge for me, so I'm not going to do that. Whoa, Sarah. Pilin and Sarah, you guys are doing great. Exhale, very gently. Release. Bring your knees down. Press with your palms. Curl your toes in. And let's come up on our knees and hands. And then very gently, we're going to lower our elbows to the floor. Pilin is doing the natural movement. She goes all the way back to give a release for that. We're going to go into that in just a moment. Place both elbows down. Then clasp your palms together. This is an active rest posture. It's called Manduk or frog. And the posture itself is not very demanding, but it's a breathing technique while you're in this posture that's going to give you the benefit of this position. So we're going to inhale through the belly and exhale through the belly. You're going to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Try that one more time. Inhale through the belly. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let's come up in plank position. Both hands directly below the shoulders. Curl your toes in. Knees are off the floor. And let's hold ourselves up in a kind of a slope, at an angle actually. For those of you who are watching on the screen, you'd probably see all of our bodies at an angle. Some of our participants have better angles than others. I know for me it's a little bit of a challenge because I don't have arm strength. I think everyone's doing very well. And let's come down on our knees first. And then to close this prone sequence, let's do what Pilin actually anticipated. Let's just fold over. This is an active child posture. It's also called the rabbit. Sarah, you might remember we called this the rabbit, and it came much earlier in the sequence. And then let's all come over on our back. Let's come up. We're going to turn over with our heads to the camera. We're going to come on our back. Extend your legs out in front of you. I'm going to take off my fancy clip right there. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to place our palms under our buttocks, palms facing down. So hands are under the buttocks, and the buttocks are actually holding our palms down. So lift your buttocks, place your palms there. And the idea in doing that is to give ourselves that extra leverage. So when your legs lift up, when they go all the way up, your palms are actually going to give you that extra boost. So when Sarah's ready, we're going to engage our low abdominal muscles. Keep your feet flexed. Inhale, and also take advantage of the fact that your elbows are on the floor, so you could also push with your elbows. Inhale, lift your legs all the way up, 90 degrees. Keep your feet flexed. And then I know Sarah's going to love the next one. The rest, I know I'm going to struggle with the next one. Now keep inhaling, lift your buttocks off of the floor. Take your legs all the way overhead, as far as you can go overhead. You could also do what Ron is actually also overhead, but you could also do a shoulder stand by keeping your legs up. But if you can go all the way overhead, that'll be good. That's good for you. It just gives your spine a deeper release. Let's see. Feels good, huh? Make sure you do not move your head from side to side. This is one of those postures where you want to be extremely careful. Now, very gently, as you exhale, support your buttocks with your hands and lower your buttocks to the floor. Very gently. Keep your head down. Do not lift your head off of the floor. And then before you bring your legs all the way down, let's place our palms on in happy baby position, Ron, just in case you didn't remember.
Right.
This is a great posture for, where we can give ourselves a nice spine, a sacral massage. So you can move, rock from side to side. Actually, you might have watched Noelle, your little one, doing this all the time, Sarah.
Every time I do yoga, she's there. I'm like, I want to bring her. You're gonna be
You
laughing.
should. That's right.
She's always trying to touch her. Stands on one, and she's only 2, so she doesn't.
She'll be very flexible. That's right. Extend your legs out, and then very gently, we're going to lower it down all the way. Now, bring your palms back under your buttocks. Did I say back under your feet? Under your buttocks. Mm-hmm. And then this time, we're going to press with our elbows and peel our chest off of the floor. Inhale and lift. Keep your feet flexed. And then for those of you who want to take this posture a little further, engage your low abdominal muscles and take your feet off of the floor. You don't have to go too high. The idea is to just engage your low abdominal muscles, or as Sarah calls it, low abs. Abs. Exhale and release your legs down, and then come back down. Let's take our hands, let's release our hands from under our buttocks, and let me refer to my little cheat sheet. Oh, we just have 3 more. That's fantastic. Bring your heels close to your buttocks, as close as you can get. You want your heels to be close enough to your buttocks so your hands can reach at your heels. Whatever. God, I forget my English over here. Yeah, your ankles. Yeah, is that what I said? Now, press with your elbows. Keep your feet at hip width distance, and then inhale and lift your buttocks off of the floor. It's the bridge posture. Place your hands under your buttocks. Support your buttocks with your hands, and then wiggle your shoulders closer to each other. So if you feel strong enough today, if you feel it's not too much pressure on your knees, you can actually release your hands, clasp your hands under your buttocks. I'm going to support my butt because that helps me stay up a little longer.
I was still holding my ankles. Is that unhealthy?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I think you'll feel your low back strengthening a lot more, because when you hold your ankles, you may or may not be able to go up that high. Are you able to go that high? You're actually able to reach your ankles. Okay, actually, you know what? That's good. Exhale and release. It's actually tough for me because I feel if I'm reaching for my ankles, there's more pressure on my knees because I'm bending my legs a little more. But if you can, that's not bad at all. If you don't feel any pain, you're okay. Talk for yourself, Sarah. But but actually, yeah, if you can hold your ankles, go ahead, because there are schools that do teach you to do that. Extend your right leg out. Keep your right foot flexed. Keep your left leg bent. place your right hand over your left knee, left hand on the left hip, and then push your left knee over to the right, and then do what Sarah's doing, look over your left shoulder. Now, make sure that you don't bump into anyone next to you, but once you're all the way over, if you have the space, you can extend your left arm all the way out. I don't want to hit our special guest, so she's not going to come back next time. We need her here. Inhale, and let's release. Extend the left leg out, fold the right leg in, fold the right knee in, right hand on the right hip, push the right knee over to the left. Keep your left foot flexed. Look over your right shoulder and hold the position. Make sure your right shoulder is on the floor. Inhale, bring the right knee back in, and then push your right knee in, bring your left knee in, both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice little rocking massage. So you can give yourself a nice little hug. That's the term I usually use. And then just do a bit of spinal rocking. This is actually called spinal rocking, or pind. Pind literally means fetus, so this is like a fetal position. But also when you move around from side to side, or you can also go forward and back, it gives a nice massage to the base of the sacrum. So when we are ready, and I think we're all ready to go into Yoga Nidra, but we're going to have Pilin give us some closing tips on what foods will give us the high energy for the summer. Let's all come out.
Ooh. Right now?
Yes, Sarah, right now. Pilin, closing tips, closing words of advice, anything you can recommend for summer? 1 minute, great. We'll let you close. On behalf of Ron Thomas, our special guest, Pilin Anice, Sarah Torres, this is Banu Suresh signing off. Thanks to Adjo Mantabia and Rich's guidance. Thank you so much. Pilin, we have about a minute left. So.
Yeah, well, it's just hot. You know, we're ending the summer, so it's still warm out. So just make sure you drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, and eat lots of fruits and vegetables. I mean, we hear that all the time.
I love that word,
Right.
stay hydrated. We're like plants, like we're living creatures.
Yeah,
so you need to
totally.
keep watering the
Keep
plants
the water,
for it to grow.
especially when you're out in the heat.
Right.
Especially in the city.
75% water in you.
Yes.
75?
We are water.
We're mainly
I
water.
thought it was
We're mainly
60.
water.
Was it 75? Wow, okay. I'm going to drink some more.
Drink
No, but,
water.
But you're right, yes. And
Yeah.
also these have a lot of water in them.
Yes,
by
especially the
themselves.
pear.
Right.
Yeah.
The pear has a lot of
We are
fiber.
plants. We're walking, talking plants.
Yes.
And we grow pears too. Those are our leaves, right?
Sarah and Ron,
leaves.
if you have any questions for Pilin, for those of you out there, if you want to contact Pilin, indiglow.com. INDI-GLOW.com. So yeah, Sarah and Ron, if you have any questions.